Round 5 of the 250 GP series took us across to Leuven, the European GP held in Belgium, and of course the Tortelli and Everts war was due to continue. A hot, dry and dusty day, Tortelli with the sun umbrellas out already, and he knew that he had a lot of work to do. No rain in sight. They're down on the line for heat number 1. The gate is about to drop. All get out of the gate cleanly, and there's going to be plenty of dust. Looking at it come out already. Massio straight to the front alongside Tortelli. Tortelli has the inside line. Massio drops in behind him. Pit Byra, that's good to see. That's the Palmer Honda rider that we've all predicted is just going to get better and better. He's certainly been given a lot of motivation this year, and Pit Byra on a good day will certainly run with the best in the world. And here he is now right up with Tortelli, but look at the dust. This really is incredible conditions for Europe. We've seen so much rain in Spain. We've seen a lot of waterlogged Grand Prix, especially with the 500s, and now we've really got a lot of dust. But it's the young Frenchman yet again, Sebastian TORTTELLI, Kawasaki mounted. He has officially told the world press that he's leaving to go to the States in 1999 and contest the Supercross series, and that certainly will give the Yanks a wake-up call when Tortelli gets across there. But right now it's Belgium, and he knows that he's got work to do here. He needs to keep ahead of the flying current world champion, Stefan EVERTS, who is slowly just banking the points and getting a little further away from Tortelli each weekend. There is Stefan EVERTS, not that far ahead. He's got Bevutz behind him, but we've seen it all before. Stefan EVERTS just plods away, chips away, one lap at a time, never gets rattled, never gets phased. And here he is yet again, working his way up through the field. He's now up with Pit Byra. Oh, Byra gets out of shape. That's unusual. He's a very, very strong rider. Got into a rut, kicked him to the side, and Stefan EVERTS picks up yet another place. So, the man on the Kawasaki, that's the Yonder Fruit Oxbow-sponsored Kawasaki French rider, Sebastian TORTTELLI. But he'll know by his lap boards that the hard-charging Stefan EVERTS is not that far behind. He's on the L&M Honda, of course. That's the full factory-kitted machine. That's Massio, the man that did so well at the start. Ran deep into the first corner, and then Bevutz was there at the beginning, but he's now starting to fall back just a little. Byra still on the charge as well, but that's the man that's doing all the damage. He gets a lot of support, even in Belgium. There's a Stefan EVERTS home track, so to speak, and of course the fans all know about EVERTS, but they give Tortelli a real good bite at the cherry. They give him a lot of support. They're very, very knowledgeable fans, and they know that Tortelli is amongst the best in the world. I'm sure Tortelli would like to go to the States as a 125 and a 250 world champion, the same as Greg Albertine did, but of course he might well have just as hard a battle when he gets over there. So Tortelli now past the back markers. He knows that the last lap flag is not that far away. He also knows that the Belgian flags, the Belgian fans are on their feet, because Stefan EVERTS is getting ever closer. He will come through very, very quickly. Tortelli has to pick up very, very valuable points. You don't let EVERTS get away, and that's Byra and Bevutz. They're having their own little race a little bit further back there. Pit Byra, look at that machine. It certainly does get some head shake. Byra working very, very hard to keep that bike together, and Bevutz coming back again. The two of them and the Winfield rider go through past the Palmer Honda. Well, Bevutz, he knows all about World Championship Grand Prix racing, and certainly will run head-to-head with Byra. That is Tortelli. He knows the checkered flag. He's not that far away now. He's done enough. No sign yet of Stefan EVERTS. You can see from his riding style that he's really got it very, very together now. There's the checkered flag. A win in the European GP for Tortelli. Well, if you're going to drop it, I suppose that's the right place to drop it as you cross the line. And of course, he's taken the checkered flag. Behind Sebastian TORTTELLI in second spot is going to be the L&M rider, current world champion, Stefan EVERTS. And in third spot, Monik Bevutz. Right, down to the line we go. Second heat of the day. Can Tortelli do it all over again? Right on the inside line here, right up against the screen. Head down and away he goes. He wants to get the inside turn. I wonder if Massio will be there again. It's not Massio, it's a Honda. Well, Torttelli got the first turn, but there's plenty of them there this time. Well, Werner de Wit on the inside, Stefan EVERTS on the outside, Talon Volan behind Stefan EVERTS, but the little Frenchman has come out again. How was that first corner? They really were like sardines going through the first turn all over the circuit. Now they've got themselves a little bit of space. This dust is horrific, and if you take your goggles off, it's all over down under. That's the last thing you want to do, is to take your goggles off. You'll pay a big price for that. They've put a lot of water down between the first and the second heat, but the way I see it is that that water is going absolutely nowhere. It's not even penetrating the surface of the circuit, so there's still plenty of dust. It'll just make it slippery, I think, and that's about all. But look at this, smoke trailing behind him, the dust kicking up. He's got it well and truly together. Pit Byra is having the day of his life controlling his Honda at the moment. I'm not sure who's setting up his suspension, but they might well have some work to do. The circuit incredibly bumpy in those ruts, the back end kicking all over the place, and the front of Byra's bike getting plenty of head shake as well. So at the moment, Torttelli up front, Byra into second, Stefan EVERTS. Stefan EVERTS' bike seems to be handling a whole lot better than the Palmo Honda. Presumably they've got different setups. Stefan EVERTS with some very, very tricky equipment on that bike, you can be sure, and he always looks very, very smooth. Of course, Pit Byra rides very, very hard and aggressively. You can see his elbows right up, and he really pushes that bike around the circuit. Stefan EVERTS just seems to flow with the bike, a much more natural type of riding style. He never looks to be working hard, but of course he's always on the podium. Pit Byra looks as if he's out there as a heavyweight boxer doing a job of work, and he really is manhandling this bike around the circuit at the moment. Of course, nobody knows better than him that he's got Stefan EVERTS behind him, and Pit Byra will have to stay wide awake. That number 1 plate looming up behind him. So at the moment it's the Palmo Honda versus the L&M HRC Honda of Stefan EVERTS. Pit Byra, almost speedway style through the corner, hangs out the back end. And Stefan EVERTS, look at the back of that machine of EVERTS, the way it's working. He chooses different lines. He goes right to the outside of the circuit to get out of some of those very, very bad ruts. Pit Byra going through the center of the circuit, and that looks as if Stefan EVERTS has made his move. Very, very neat and tidy. Goes to the inside. Pit Byra saw him come through, and he moved to the right-hand side. EVERTS has moved through for second, but it's still all about the little Frenchman and about the Kawasaki. If anyone's done a job of work in the last few years for Kawasaki worldwide, it has to be Jan de Groot and Sebastian TORTTELLI. They did everything right in 125s, now he's doing everything right in 250s. And then we have the Yamaha, that's Talon Volan. He's now starting to make a move as well. So Talon Volan has moved up and passed a bit, but I think like last year, Talon Volan has left it all too little too late. He needs to come out firing at the first round of the series, and we're up to round 5, and he's not been able to bank enough points yet to date. So he's got a huge amount of work to do if he wants to be there at the end of the year, but never say die. Werner de Wit still pushing his way around the circuit, but that's the man. That's the man the Hooters are all going out there for. Not easy. You can see the way he's having to work as well. Stefan EVERTS now up to second, so that could well make it Torttelli 2 firsts and Stefan EVERTS 2 seconds, but we'll have to wait and see. And that means that their points in the overall championship are still going to be very, very close, with of course Stefan remaining up front for the time being. But it's not over in Belgium. This track is incredibly rough. That's the checkered flag. 2 out of 2 for Sebastian TORTTELLI in Belgium. Can't ask for more than that. He takes the French flag yet again, a familiar sight. Stefan EVERTS will come home in second. That's the man the Belgians have come to see. And in third spot, I'm sure is going to be Pit Byra